Welcome to another Dr. Jester's rant, and I'm gonna rant about this. Terry Crews says people discouraging free thought scare him more than the KKK when he was young. I have to agree with him. People who censor, who control your thought, who try to drive a narrative and then censor you are really, really more scary than just a bunch of KKK, especially because the KKK, or those types of racists, are rare today in this day and age. As in, they don't portray more than what? The last time I checked the sources, official sources, the KKK just barely 3,000 members, I think. No, I think it's 6,000, the whole country. And with the neo-Nazis, that make 3,000-ish. And summing everything, and then counting those who are not official members, I'll put it less than 30,000 on a country that has 300 million. That's generally just very, very little. So the prospects of you finding or being attacked by one of those races are minimal. And so that's why people are trying to create races today, because the demand for the KKK and neo-Nazis, the demand for racists are an all-time high. But the supply is all-time low. So that's why they call everyone a racist today. Terry Crews says people discouraging free thought scare him more than the KKK when he was young. Actor Terry Crews said that he was never afraid of the Ku Klux Klan when he was younger, and was more afraid of people discouraging free thought. Exactly. As I said, the KKK, those, let's call them racist with the correct definition. Those racists are just less than 30,000. That's less than one stadium worth of people. And I'm counting the official numbers who are members of those organizations, and those who I'm assuming are much more numerous who are not members of those organizations and are thus not technically officially counted. So in that case, they are just less than 30,000 on a country of 300 million people or so. In fact, I have to agree with Terry Crews again, because you're much more likely to suffer an attack or deplatform or lose your livelihood, your family and everything due to the cancel culture, from false rape allegations to calling you a racist and then being called a racist or a bigot, and then they call your employer and make some false allegation and you're fired. You lose everything. Crews condemned entertainer Nick Cannon last week for anti-Semitic remarks he made during an episode of his YouTube show, and he also made anti-white remarks. We have to include this white voice, this Hispanic voice, this Asian voice. We have to include it right now, because if we don't, it's going to slip into something we're really not prepared for. Crews tweeted after Cannon promoted his anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and praised Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. Yeah, Nation of Islam is quite retarded. We have to include this white voice, this Hispanic voice, this Asian voice. We have to include it right now, because if we don't... Oh, already read there. So this is part of the tweet, because they put it... Oh, okay. Some of the tweeters slammed Crews' pushback on Cannon, with one person saying, you're going so hard against Nick Cannon, but when you fall, no black person will have your back. It doesn't matter. I will have his back, because he has the right of free speech, and he is right. When you censor people, you're much worse. The person defending Nick Cannon here is probably an anti-Semitic, and definitely a racist. but not the right kind of racist, the correct kind of racist where you can be anti-white or can be anti-Semitic without the blowback. The Cruz responded to the user by saying that he was more afraid of people like you. I agree, I'm way more afraid of people like this guy over here than the Ku Klux Klan when he was young. When I was young, I was never afraid of the KKK. It was people like you. I agree. Holy fuck, I'm a huge fan of Terry Crews. In my opinion, I think all movies should be made with Terry Crews. The threats and the intimidation, discouraging free thought, and the insult of acting white. My heart breaks because your behavior only reveals you don't know how powerful you are. When I was young, I was never afraid of the KKK. It was people like you. The threats, the intimidation, the discouraging of free thought. Oh, okay, so that's the tweet. The Brooklyn Nine-Nine star has previously voiced his opinions that the Black Lives Movement doesn't care about all black people because it remains silent on issues such as inner city violence. And he is absolutely 100% right. I've already covered this on a video with Don Lemon on Jesus Christ. It gave me proper disgust just to read what Don Lemon said. That is a proper racist too, but once again, he's not the right kind of racist, right? Because if he was, he would be condemned. If he said all the things Don Lemon said, if anyone said everything that Don Lemon said, but reverse it and changing from black to white and vice versa, you would have a nationwide cry, protest, looting, burning, and everything. That's just disturbing to say the least. Let's see here, continuing. Black people need to hold other black people accountable, Cruz said in an interview with CNN's Don Lemon. If anything is going to change, we ourselves, we need to look at our own communities and look at each other and say these things cannot go down. All Black lives matter, he added. He's absolutely correct. All Black lives matter. Your Black life matters. Your life matters. Every life matters. My life matters. Terry Crews' life matters. Don Lemon's life matters. It doesn't matter who you are. Your life matters. But according to Don Lemon, only the thug lives who get killed by the police matters. For instance, in the interview, Cruz was even mentioning kids getting shot at in Chicago by black people. And the kid died. A kid, for God's sake. A kid. Those lives matter, especially a kid. A kid is still doesn't even know what a life is yet. They're just innocent kids. They're playing. They don't know anything and they get shot and killed. Those lives matter. But according to Don Lemon, it doesn't. Only certain black lives matter, apparently. And that's disturbing to say the least. And that's why I felt complete and utter disgust with when I read Don Lemon's replies. His argument was disturbing. And if you want, you can always go in my previous videos and try and watch it. I'm not even going to click it and read it again. It's just disturbing. Like I said, very disturbing. And Terry Crews is right, again. And especially because people like these people attacking him are the real danger to society, at least today. Because if you don't agree with the correct narrative, if you don't agree with the horde, if you don't agree with the hive mind, you are to be expelled. It's kind of like during the Middle Ages. If you didn't agree with the church, you get excommunicated. And not only excommunicated, which you can't even do business, you can't even have a family, or today even hold a bank account or credit card like Visa or MasterCard. You lose everything. You become a pariah. You pretty much get branded like you can even watch a TV show called Salem, which shows the Salem witch trials and Salem witches, which is kind of took a certain artistic liberty, but it was a great show. in which they branded a guy called fornicator on his forehead. That's pretty much what happens on today's world when you don't have the right kind of opinion, and they are doing that to Terry Crews. They are branding him as well, not a fornicator in this case, but someone who decided to go against the hive mind, against the narrative, and they are branding him as the wrong kind of person. That's just absolutely terrifying. This video is a little bit shorter than usual, but not that short. So, see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Good night.